Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at a pretty radical way to think about stress and all those little daily annoyances.
Mm.
We're pulling from a text called Talking About Jesus, and our mission is really to get into its core strategy.
Yeah, how to turn what it calls peevishness into praise.
Exactly.
And what's so fascinating is how it starts. Right out of the gate, it just reframes reality.
How so?
The premise is that every single moment you experience is a miracle, that it's not an accident, it's sustained entirely by grace.
And that recognition is the starting point for everything else.
It has to be.
Yeah.
That's the foundation for the whole perspective shift.
Okay, so let's define the problem it's trying to solve, this peevishness.
Right.
The source is clear. It's not usually, loud, dramatic anger,
No, it's the quiet stuff, the corrosive stuff.
like the impatience you feel in a long line,
Yeah.
or that critical thought about a coworker.
Or just the frustration when a simple plan gets delayed. It's
Yeah.
the kind of thing that just grows in the background if you let it.
So what's the root cause, according to the text?
It's really psychological. It says peevishness comes from seeing these small delays and unmet expectations as like a personal attack.
An attack on my schedule, my effort.
Exactly. You forget in that moment what the text calls how much God is already doing. You forget that mercies are, new every morning.
So if peevishness is the problem, what's the antidote?
Preemptive praise. The text is very specific here. It calls it an act of faith that has to rise first.
Meaning you don't wait for things to get better.
You don't wait for the prayer to be answered or the situation to resolve. It's an immediate choice.
Okay, but I have to push back a bit on the practical side of that.
Please do.
If you're genuinely struggling, not just mildly annoyed, how do you offer praise that feels real? Is it just faking it?
It's a great question, and the source actually tackles it. It says, it's not about forcing a happy feeling, it's a perceptual shift.
Okay.
So instead of asking, why is this happening to me,
Yeah.
you shift the question to, what is God inviting me to see here?
So the praise isn't about the hardship itself, it's about a belief that God is greater than the hardship.
Precisely. It's a declaration. You're not denying the difficulty, you're just challenging its power over your inner state.
And the text argues this has some pretty big internal benefits.
Oh, absolutely. It's described almost like a mental rewiring. When praise is your first response, it sort of short-circuits that anxiety loop.
And anxiety starts to lose its grip.
It does, because your focus moves outward. And in its place, joy can begin to take root. And we're not talking about loud, bubbly happiness.
More like a quiet, steadying presence.
Exactly. And sometimes this is just a whispered prayer,
Hmm.
or even just choosing patience when irritation feels so much easier.
That makes sense for the internal life. But how does this change affect the people around you?
Well, that's the ultimate test of the whole thing. The text claims this inner goodness just naturally spills over into your relationships.
So it's not meant to stay inside.
Never. The idea is you start to reflect encouragement instead of judgment.
Yeah.
You create space for healing, for unity.
In a world that's, very quick to criticize.
And very slow to give thanks, yeah.
Yeah.
This approach becomes a kind of testimony.
And that leads to the ultimate definition the text offers.
Right. It says, hallelujah isn't just a word you shout. It's, and I'm quoting here, a way of living that declares God's goodness aloud and through your actions.
So to synthesize this, it's not just about a better attitude. The source suggests this practice actually draws you closer to the heart of God.
It does, by making you aware of that grace holding up every single moment.
Okay, so let's leave our listeners with a final thought on this.
I think it would be this. If that core premise is true, that life is a constant miracle, then what small, overlooked inconvenience from today, maybe that traffic jam or the Wi-Fi going out, what if you chose to intentionally reframe that one thing, not as an annoyance, but as an opportunity for patience or even gratitude, just like the text suggests?